What is going on, YouTube? This is Ron with Ron Comes in Handy. That's my company name, my handyman business name. And again, this channel is for you beginner handyman people or the handymen that want to start out. I'm going to give you some tips on how I started out, and hopefully it worked for you. So this video is going to be about the top 7 ways on how to get handyman work. So they're in no particular order. Nothing is greater than the other. And I want to stress that I think it depends on the area that you're in. Will depend on how much these will work for you. Again, there's some YouTubers out there where they get a lot of handyman work and they charge a lot because that's the type of area that he's in where he could charge that much. And there's some people that are out in the boonies or in some states that are not really, some city or states that are not really, they're probably lower class, and where you won't be able to charge that much as the other guy would. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. And also keep that in mind for, depending on the community, will depend on like if these apps will work best for you. So number 7 is going to be Handy. I found out about Handy by actually on Craigslist looking for handyman work, and I saw an ad that says, hey, do you do handyman work? You can earn up to $100 a day or something like that, plus more. I think it was like $250 a day. I was like, okay, that's cool. Downloaded the app, signed up, and it gives you some work, but in my opinion, so immediately you'll start seeing customers or clients who need work. And depending on the type of area that you're in, will depend how much of the demand you'll see. And most of these apps, you could tell them what type of service you do. You could do, hey, you could list carpentry, you could do window installer, you could do door installer. You can list these, and then it'll filter out and give you clients. And in this field, it's called leads. When you use these apps, it'll filter out the clients that you could service, I guess you could say. So Andy, it does give you a lot of people. For me, it did give me a lot of people in my area, but I don't know if it's because I wasn't on it as much. But what I found is that they really underprice you. So with this, they tell you how much this job is worth. They say, hey, this person is looking for you to build their king size bed frame. How much you gonna get paid? $20. And for me, depending on the type of person you are and if you're getting started, $20 is not enough for me to build a king size bed, because it's gonna take you at least an hour to do, unless you're great. And depending on what type of bed it is too. But I didn't like it. I did one job on that, and that was to install, replace a doorknob. And I guess this client was looking for somebody for a long time. And so when the client doesn't find anybody, they'll put more incentives for getting that client. So where a doorknob replacement would have been like $20 on the app, they actually gave me like around $120 to service that customer. And so I did. But ever since then, I never used that app. So yeah. Number 6, I mentioned this before, is Craigslist. Now, I haven't found any work on Craigslist, but then again, I haven't really been looking either. But I've heard people that have found Craigslist to be good, and they've got some work. There's a guy on YouTube who said that's how he started out, was on Craigslist, and I guess because the type of area he was in, that's what worked for him. And maybe that's why it hasn't worked for me. For like maybe the day I checked, I didn't find nothing. Maybe that's why it didn't work for me. So you guys could try that. Craigslist is free to look on and search through all that stuff. Gigs, I don't even know what section you would go into, gigs or for hire or something like that. I don't know. But Craigslist is another one. Number 5, I think I'm on. there's one called Angie Leads, aka Home Advisor. I have mixed feelings about this this app or this service. So when it comes to these type of apps I'm using, or if you decide to use, there's a fee. So I was looking forward to get more work, and I wanted to just try Angie Leads. So I downloaded the app. I think I filled out my information, and then once they start saying, oh, it's gonna cost as much, I stopped. I was like, well, I wanna look and see how the interface is and see if I really like it. And so I never finished it, but they are very persistent. They called me and they like sold me on signing up. And I almost wanna say I kind of regret it, because it wasn't like I thought it was. So here's the con when it comes to these. So remember, like I said, these clients are called leads. So, and I'll put like a screen up on how this works. So what happens is you fill out the information, you have to be a member and you have to pay a fee. And what happens is, like, for each client that is sent, so what they do is that clients are looking for contractor / handyman. So the client will fill out information, hey, I need an appliance installed. They fill out that information, and depending on what information is, the app will send that client to who they think fits best for that job. And so if you want to get dibs, or if you want to be like one of the first to get these jobs, which are called leads, you have to pay for them. That's the thing that turns me off about this app. And it costs a lot too. And this is what I didn't like. When I was signing up, the people that in Angie Leads, they said like, oh yeah, the average lead, hey, quiet. The average lead costs around, the average is $25. But I have never got a lead that costs around $25. I've always got somebody's like $46. So what potentially could happen, and this is what you have to be careful on, as soon as you sign up, and maybe I'll do a tutorial on how to use this app. When you sign up, you have to make sure you set your monthly or weekly budget, which means, hey, I want to spend only $200 a month. So then you only get $200 worth of leads, which means this person could be looking for somebody to install the window, and it costs $50 in order for you to get this lead. But the thing is, it's not guaranteed you are going to get this lead. That's the thing. They tell you like, oh, to get a better chance of closing the job, contact this person within 15 minutes. But see, what they don't tell you is that you are battling with other handymen to get this lead. So where I paid $20 to get this lead, another handyman paid another $20 to get the same lead, and you guys have to see who can get the lead first, the client first. So you could call the person, sometimes they don't answer because they give you like a generic number. You have to call from the app, and the app will say you're calling from like New York when you live in California, and the person might not answer because it's an unknown number, and then you have to wait if that person calls you back. So that's the thing that I don't like about these apps, these lead-based apps where you have to pay for your leads. So enough of that. That's Angie Leads / Home Advisor. I'll probably do a video on that. The next one is going to be Thumbtack Pro. The same concept, but it's more than handyman work. It's more what type of services you provide. Like I DJ on the side. I can DJ, so I can actually put that service in my profile, and I've gotten clients that need a DJ. But it's the same concept as you're paying for leads. If you want people to be, there's things called direct leads where, again, you have to set your budget, say, hey, I want to spend like $100 this week on getting direct leads. So they'll send you somebody, and when they send you somebody, you're paying for that person. But again, it's not guaranteed that you'll keep that job, that client will pick you. And one other thing I gotta mention about these lead-based jobs, especially with Thumbtack and Angie Leads, is that when they give a description, sometimes it's very vague. It might say plumbing, right? Plumbing, it might say install plumbing fixtures or faucet, right? But it won't give a description, but that's just the title. So let's say like you get that lead, you're like, okay, cool. They might say, hey, I need somebody to repair my septic tank. Me, where I live at, I don't think anywhere in my area, or let me just say, I don't know no knowledge about septic tanks. I have no knowledge about it. So when you put your service at, you can do plumbing, you really can't, and maybe I have to look deeper into this, you really can't put, do you do septic tanks? Do you do water heaters? Do you have a, was it like a 30-foot snake? It doesn't really give you that option to choose those services. So then it can filter out better. So sometimes I've lost a lot of money doing that, just because the client doesn't know how to give it a better description. And so the app is doing its best to match it up with the right handyman, but then you probably don't do that service, that type of plumbing. So be careful with that. And again, I'll do a video on these apps so you guys can know what I mean. So that's Thumbtack. I've actually had a lot more success on Thumbtack Pro than all these other apps. The next one is going to be, and again, that one you have to pay for. You have to put a credit card on file in order to start getting these leads. That's the thing that is kind of the turnoff for me. The next one's called Nextdoor. Nextdoor is another free app, and it's mostly a neighborhood app. It's almost like a Facebook, but just for your community. Because you have to put in where you live at, and then it will tell you like the surrounding areas, like within maybe 50 miles. So I see everybody that is in my community surrounding me. So I was like, oh, this person lives over there. Oh, this person only lives 2 miles. And they tell you like, oh, this person, they won't tell you like the exact address, but they'll say like what type of neighborhood they're in or what neighborhood they're in. So I've actually got my biggest paying job from Nextdoor. And then on this app also, you could have your personal, just like a Facebook, you can have your profile, your personal profile page, and then you have your business page. And you can put your pictures and your services on your business page, your phone number, your hours, all for free. And of course you can pay for ads so it can show up on people's timeline. But I got my biggest paying job from this app. It's like as soon as I downloaded the app, I introduced myself. I said, hey, my name is Ron. My dad's been a plumber all my life. My brother's an electrician. I'm getting started to be a handyman, and I want to transition to a contractor. I do these type of services. I live over here. Or you don't have to tell them where you live at because they know it's a neighborhood app. And then I was like, yeah, if you guys need any handyman work, let me know. I immediately that day, kid you not, I had 3 inquiries. 2 of them I couldn't do. One was to finish a mailbox, to do like stucco, and I don't know how to do stucco or any type of patchwork like that. Another one was, I can't remember what the other one was, but the other one, the last one was this lady, she just bought 2 houses in like a mile away from me, and she wanted to remodel the kitchen. And I was like, okay, cool, I could do that. Actually, I lied. Don't tell her that. So she was like, hey, I need somebody, and she had a husband and I think a mom, and I guess they just started doing like this house flipping. And so they didn't have a lot of money. And so I made a deal there. I was like, hey, look, I'm just getting started. I would like to, be like your go-to guy. And, I'll work out a price with you, give you a good price. So what she wanted me to, and it was an older house. Like it was probably built in maybe 1950, 1960. Because I saw the wiring was old. But it didn't have a dishwasher. She's like, hey, I'm going to get a new countertop and I want you to add a dishwasher. Luckily, I just learned how to add a hole or a space for a dishwasher. And then I was supposed to have somebody help me do the countertop, but he couldn't do it. And guess what I did? I just looked on YouTube and I figured out how to do a countertop. It wasn't hard at all. Again, you just have to have the right tools and the right supplies. And then my brother, who's an electrician, he added 6 outlets in that kitchen. And that was it. And I got paid a good money. That type of job where you're doing plumbing, so you're adding a dishwasher, and that includes, I'm making the space for it, installing a dishwasher, and then taking the old tile countertop off, putting a laminate countertop on. Then you have to cut out the hole for the sink, put the sink in, put the faucet in, make sure the plumbing, the hot and cold is good to the plumbing and it hooks up to the dishwasher correctly. That's a good paying job. Like that's at minimum easy, that's $1,000. So next door, I still get inquiries. I actually got another potential client that wants me to do another remodel in your house. So that's it's free too. That's what I like about that app. Next one is Facebook. Facebook is good, it's free. What I did, I just started displaying all my work I was doing. Whether it was small work or big work, you never know. There's people that say, hey, can you install my security cameras? Security cameras is like easy if it's wireless. So like Ring or Nest is real easy. Good paying job. You can charge them, depending on your skills, you can charge them $50 to $100 depending on how many cameras. You make that choice. But Facebook's another thing. Now the last one, I forgot the numbering them. The last one is probably like where I get most of my work at. Half of my work at from this type of system, and half from all these apps I downloaded. Word of mouth. If you guys haven't heard, word of mouth is the best advertisement across the board. Not even talking about handyman work. You ever get introduced to a new artist or a new song? Usually it's from somebody like telling you. Sometimes it's somebody telling you like, hey, have you heard of this artist, this new rapper or whoever? Or hey, you ever heard of this phone or this new app? That you usually hear it from somebody else. So I've got a lot of my work from people who are just referring me to other people. I got this person got my number. It's like, hey, somebody on Facebook told me that you do handyman work. I need this assembled and I need all these other things too. And I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Here's my price. Or first, before I give my price, I go to I do a free estimate and I tell them off of that. But this video's been longer than what I already wanted. I just want to give you guys the 7 ways I have gotten business for my handyman work. There's an honorable mention that I haven't tried because I didn't want to put put my credit card information on more apps, and I think it's called TaskRabbit. And I don't know the pricing on that, but I know they wanted me to pay a fee in order to start using their services. And I was like, no, I already got Angie Leads, I already got Thumbtack Pro. I don't want to put my credit card on another thing. But that's an honorable mention. I might use it and see how well it works. But those are my list of services or apps you can use to start getting your handyman business off the ground and getting referrals and getting business. So if you guys like this video, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if any of these work for you, or let me know how you feel about these apps. If I'm missing any, please let me know. Like I said, I'm kind of intermediate. I'm transitioning to be a contractor. Let me know if there's any other ones that I missed. Again, this is Ron with Ron Comes in Handy. I'll see you guys on the next video. Late.